Hey guys, welcome back. It's actually been a few days. I did not get a chance to get this in primer. It's Saturday now, so I'm gonna work on getting this ready for primer. So what I need to do first is get all this Bondo that's hanging over these edges here and get it all cleaned up. I do see a little tiny pinhole right there, and there. So I'm gonna have to put a little bit of filler in there, probably just use my finger and just smooth it out. But basically, just gonna take some 80 grit sandpaper, fold it over here. Just gonna sit here and sand until I get it all, the edge smooth and knocked down. I'm not gonna sit there and record that part. I wanna get all these areas, these window openings and everything done. And then I'll come back and I'll get it taped off. We'll spray some epoxy primer and then some 2K primer over top. And also I need to sand down. I'm going to sand down these off camera. We got a transmission leak, but I'm going to sand off these off camera and primer those when I'm primering this. He knows about the transmission leak. He's got to actually pull the transmission and change the front seal on it. So once he gets the car back, he's got to do that. So I really need to get this thing done in the next couple of days here, so he has time to do that before he's taking it to Columbus, I believe, in a couple weeks. So all right, I'm going to get this sanded down and I'll be back to show you. Okay, I've sanded all the wheel or the window lips. I found a couple spots that were a little bit wavy, so I just put a little bit of filler on them. I'm using the moldings here to hold them up to the window opening to make sure that everything looks good. I've changed my mind again for the third time. I'm going to go ahead and once I get these couple spots fixed that I filled in here, just some little corners and stuff, I'm going to blow the car off. I 80 gritted all inside of here. Now, while it's 80 gritted, I might as well just put the panel bonding adhesive on it tonight, let it dry, and then tomorrow come in here, scuff it down, the panel bonding adhesive, tape the car off, and just primer it at that point. Because at least then that's all done. And then once the primer's dry, I just need to sand it, and then I'm ready for paint. So that's the route I'm going to go. I probably won't video me putting the panel bonding adhesive in here. Basically, I'm going to grab a thicker glove than what I was using. I'm just going to smooth over all this. All these little pits and stuff that are in here, they've all been wire wheeled and treated with that rust converter. So next, once I put that panel bonding adhesive on it, my goal is to just seal up any little tiny pinholes that could possibly be left from those pits and stuff like that. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And then tomorrow I'll finish this video up by taping it off and spraying the epoxy primer and the 2K primer. We're only going to spot primer it. And then probably Monday I'll get it prepped for paint. Stuff like this, I'm not going to primer. Just going to sand the clear off, and we'll use a clear base coat, a DVC 500 base coat. It's like an inner coat clear, and we'll put that on over these panels that I sand like this. And what that's going to do is seal in any sanding marks from the 320 grit, and then we'll blend our blue over top. I don't want to have to paint the whole tailgate if I don't have to. I want to try to blend the colors as much as I can, so that it looks better in the end rather than having the tailgate, you know, this whole part of the car being a little bit different than the bottom part. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for those couple spots to dry, sand them down, blow it off, put the panel bonding adhesive on all the window openings, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And like I said, I'll continue this video tomorrow. Okay, they're all coated. I did not have enough to go around entirely everywhere, but I made sure I went around anywhere there was heavy pitting or any little tiny pinholes. So all the areas are sealed in. They need to dry now overnight. Doesn't look super pretty or anything like that, but it'll be good when it's done. It'll stop any moisture or anything penetrating into the car itself. So I'll continue this video tomorrow, taping off and getting this thing in primer. Okay, the glue is dry. I went around with my little sander and just kind of knocked it down, anything that was high or, you know, like a little bump or something like that. Just wanted to smooth it all out so that the window will fit in there. So now I'm going to start taping this car off. Oh, I found a couple more little spots I wasn't happy with. So I put a little filler right there. A little bit over here, up here in the front. I think there was one other spot right here. Just a couple little tiny spots. I'm just trying to get as much as I can see now before I primer it. But even after I primer it, if I got to hit a couple little pinholes or something stupid like that, it's not going to cause a problem when I go to paint, because I'm going to use a intercoat clear before I start putting the color on. I'm not going to use an epoxy primer before I color because I am blending and I don't really want to run the risk of blowing any epoxy primer back farther where I'm going to be blending the color. I'm probably going to paint the whole roof, blend it down the side pillar here, the color, and then just clear it down to the bottom of the pillar there. Same thing with the quarter panel. I'm going to blend the color into the quarter panel here. Same thing with the top of the doors. And the tailgate also, where this is clear coat has been worn out, flaking off. I'm going to 320 this tailgate down, blend in some color, and clear it. Got another project here. This is actually another one of my own projects that I'm going to be doing here in the next couple weeks. This is a Ford service sign. This is a neon sign that obviously doesn't have any of the neons or anything on it. I'm going to be taking it to a neon shop to have new neons put on it. We're going to do blue around the perimeter and white over the letters. I'm going to build a metal box for this, okay, because I want to be able to hang it on the wall and not see all the wires and transformer and stuff on the backside. By the size of the sign, it's about 16 inches wide by 5 feet long. If I were to guess, I'd say it's probably only one transformer. Maybe two, because I was kind of thinking maybe I want the blue arrow outline neon tube to flash, maybe, you know, on and off, and then just leave the service in white on all the time. I'm not sure yet. I got to talk to him about it to see if he thinks that's a good idea or not. But yeah, that's gonna be another project. I'm gonna build like a 6-inch deep metal box out of like 24 or 26 gauge metal, nothing real thin, real heavy. I'm gonna rivet it in so that it's all riveted on. The holes that are currently here, these holes are to hold the neon tube. All these other little holes here are rivet holes that we're gonna rivet into to hold the box on the backside. The back's just got white, I don't know if that's paint or what, but this is definitely porcelain on the front side. When you see a porcelain sign, the white goes on first and then the blue goes over top in this instance. So they usually start with white and then put the color over top. Now, I don't think this is I don't know if this is an original Ford sign from a long time ago, or if I were to guess, I'd say it was a remake somewhere in the 80s, 90s, but I'm not positive. I'm not a huge sign person. But it does say Cook sign, so that right there tells me that it more than likely would be a repo, because I don't think they originally had any sort of lettering on the front like that. So I'm pretty confident this is a repop at some point, but it's heavy. It's a heavy, thick sign, so I'm totally cool with getting it re-neon and stuff like that. You could tell that at one point it probably had a neon on it and somebody took it off, maybe it busted, so they just pulled it all off and I got it as is. So that'll be another project coming up pretty soon here, so that I can get it to the neon shop, because the neon guy, there's not very many people that are blowing neon tubes anymore, and this guy is really busy and it takes him a while, which is fine. It's not like I need it tomorrow or anything like that. So if I can get the box built and get it to him, when he gets it done, he gets it done. So, all right, I'm gonna tape this off, then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna put a coat of epoxy primer on here, then some 2K primer, and get this primer today so it can dry tomorrow. I'll sand it tomorrow afternoon, get it in the spray booth and get it ready to paint. Also, I think I might make another video today of painting this sign. The lettering and the stars are gonna be white. The rest of the sign is gonna be like a bluish turquoise color, and the back I need to paint black. So what I'm gonna do is hang it in the spray booth, spray both sides of it with a epoxy primer, and then I'm going to paint the backside black, let it sit for an hour or so, tape it off. Then I'll probably do the white, and then I'll do the blue last, and then I'll untape it and satin clear it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it all done today, but I have a good 24-hour window by the time I start, so I'll have plenty of time to finish it if it's taking a long time to dry, because I got to let it dry at least an hour or so between coats so that I can tape on it. So I would like to get that started so I can get that wrapped up. So, all right, let me get this taped off, and I'll come back and we will get some primer on this wagon. Okay, I'm all taped off. I'm ready to put a little bit of epoxy primer on. Once again, it's going to be a little hard to record this, just given the areas that I'm working on are a little hard to get to with the camera, but I will do my best. I need to grab my other hose out of the spray booth. Okay, I'm gonna let that set for 20-30 minutes and I'll be back for the 2K primer. Okay, the epoxy's been on here for about a good 20-25 minutes. It's dry, I could touch it. So it's ready for 2K primer. Now, I'm kind of just leaving the camera here because it's gonna be a real pain in the butt to try to move it around. I'm just gonna kind of video this first coat, then I'll do the rest of them, and then we'll do a walk around and see what it looks like. I gotta fix the lid on the cup. Okay, I'll be back when it's all done. Okay guys, it's all primered. It's still wet. It's drying. It's going to take a little bit to dry. Doesn't look too bad. I had to load it on a little bit heavy in a few spots. A couple little pinholes and stuff that I filled in with some primer. This little spot right here that looks funky, probably see it better on the other side, is actually where the screw goes for the luggage rack. So you can see right here, I put a bunch of primer right there, just because it looked a little bit funny to me and I just wanted to have extra product so that I can block it out. But yeah, right in here, there's a little weird looking divot thing, and you'll see that once it gets painted. But those will just have to get re-drilled when it comes time to put the top on. But everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna let it dry overnight real good. I'm gonna let it dry till tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm gonna block it down, see what it looks like. Now, I'm not going to rush this process. If for some reason when I block this down tomorrow it doesn't look good enough, I'm going to put more primer on it. But hopefully it will. But you never know until you start blocking it down. So I'm going to end this video here. Wasn't a real long video. Really wasn't a ton to do. It was mainly just prepping it and spraying some primer. But I'll come back tomorrow. We'll do some guide coating. We'll guide coat the roof, lower quarter panel, and the side right here. See how it looks. If it looks good, we're going to go ahead with painting it on Tuesday. I did notice I missed a little spot right here. I didn't blend the paint out enough, so I put filler primer on heavy there. If I have to, I can put a little bit of icing on there to smooth that out tomorrow. So that's going to end this video. We're getting there. We should be painting this thing in the next couple days here. I am going to start another video on painting that sign, which is hanging in the booth right now. I put epoxy primer on it because I mixed it at the same time I put it on here, so I went ahead and epoxy primered both sides of that. So now I'm getting ready to put the black on the back side and let it set for a little while so I can tape it off and put the white on. So all right guys, I will see you guys this week. Thanks for watching.